Gold.
Let's welcome your host, Henry Kelly.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you very much. Welcome again to Going for Gold, our European television quiz program. Throughout the next 23 weeks, contestants from 14 countries are searching for that wonderful honour to be European quiz champion. What a champion it'll be, and what a prize they'll get, because you've seen today's players. One of them, you've seen this week's players even, one of them could win this prize.
The series winner will fly to Seoul in Korea and spend 2 weeks discovering this fascinating country, enjoying the delights, sights and atmosphere of Southeast Asia's unique culture. An experience to remember, and you'll be there as athletes from all over the world strive to win gold. Accommodation, all meals and tickets to final events and the fabulous closing ceremony are included. A great prize for the series winner of Going for Gold.
Yes. Absolutely a great prize. Well, so far this week, we have got winners. Richard Leslie from Scotland, Iain McChesney from England, and Hans Mans from Austria. Now we have to find out who will join them in the next round to find today's winner, who will go into our semi-finals later in the year. It'll be one of these four players. It'll be the first player to give me a correct answer to the questions I'm going to ask. This is very important, candidates. Contestants, this is your last chance of going for gold. Hands on the buzzers, are you ready? What am I? I am a musical instrument that dates back to the 200s BC, when a Greek engineer built one of me that used water power. I evolved slowly. The Netherlands.
Organ.
An organ is correct in the Netherlands, and you're in the next round. Oh, well, there you go. What a shame. We have to lose Northern Ireland, we have to lose Sweden, we have to lose Denmark, Kirsten, Ida-Britt and Louise. But thank you very much for being with us and playing Going for Gold. All right. So, the Netherlands has joined Austria, England and Scotland. I'm going to join them now to find out who is this week's winner on Going for Gold. Come on. Righto. Well, now it's time to get a step closer, not just to finding today's champion, but to finding this week's champion, who will go forward to the semi-finals later on in the year. There they are, the four people. One of them will be in the semi-finals later on this year. Jacob Meyer from the Netherlands. Jacob, welcome again. We've seen you in this position a couple of times already this week. Today is the day, Jacob. What have you got on the desk?
Henry, you asked me earlier this week about clocks, and this is one. Really from Holland.
That's a clog. Jacob, there looks as if there's room for both of us in that clog.
I doubt it. With your size of feet.
Thank you very much, Jacob. Anyway, despite the clog, the very best of luck to you in this, the final game this week.
Thank you.
And, of course, Hans Mans is back again from Austria. Welcome again. Mr. Ambassador, sir, you did very well several times this week. Of course, a heat winner. And you're a bit of a wine expert as well as everything else, Hans, are you?
Well, I might be, yes.
Yes. A wine drinking expert, perhaps, is it?
Well, I've given it up lately, but I had enough during my career.
You had enough. All right, Hans. Well, we hope you're enjoying yourself and Going for Gold, and we wish you the best of luck in today's important rounds.
Thank you.
Now, you remember also our sports enthusiast, Iain McChesney from England, the first Englishman to get in this far. Iain, you're also a bit of a bridge player and a chess player, are you?
I haven't played bridge seriously for quite a few years now, but yes, I used to take it quite seriously. Chess as well.
Chess. Iain, it's a game I've never been able to understand bridge. Maybe if you do well in today's programme, I'll get a free lesson from you. Iain, best of luck to you. Thanks. And right back at the start of this week, the very first person to answer a question correctly and get through to the finals for this week was Richard Leslie from Scotland. Richard, welcome again. Richard, it's so long now since you won. You must really have forgotten how to play the game, have you? No, you're still there and still determined to go. All right, Richard, the very best of luck to you and to all our contestants. Now, in this round, contestants, the questions are in categories and they will be worth 1, 2 or 3 points, as you know by now, depending on what you select. We will begin, as usual, with a general knowledge question for 1 point. What colour is ebony? Richard.
Black.
It's black, you're correct. The category is space travel. Richard, select.
2.
2. What was the name of Russia's first... Richard.
Sputnik.
Sputnik, very well interrupted, takes you to 3. Well done, Richard. The category is American literature. Select.
1, please.
A 1-point question. Who wrote the terrifying bestsellers Carrie and... Richard.
Stephen King.
Stephen King did. Takes you to 4. Richard, you've set a very hot pace here. Come on, guys. The category is Asia, Richard. Select.
1, please.
1. Of which country is the Order of the Rising Sun? Richard.
Japan.
Japan is the correct answer. All right, Richard, you're on 5. The others haven't scored. The category is flowers. Select.
1, please.
Just the 1 for a win and to go into the next round. This flower, beginning with P, can be used as birdseed or as a source of opium. Name it. Richard.
Poppy seed.
Poppy seed is the answer, and you're in the next round already. Wow. Well, I know we've been playing Going for Gold for a week, but I have never seen anybody whitewash you. Right, so let's look at the scores. Iain, Hans and Jakob, you have yet to open your score. General knowledge question for 1 point. In what European country did the World War II Normandy invasion... Jakob.
Yugoslavia.
Is the wrong answer. Iain.
France.
France is the correct answer. The Normandy invasion took place there. Iain, that puts you on 1. The category is Europe. Select.
2, please.
2-point question. What would you do with a demi-tasse? Hans.
Drink it.
You would drink it because it's a drink, absolutely. Hans, that puts you on 2. The category is animals. Select.
3.
A 3-point question, Hans. What forest creature is known for its bush tail and its black... Iain.
The squirrel.
Is the wrong answer. Hans.
The fox.
Is the wrong answer. I can't give it any further. The answer I was looking for was raccoon. General knowledge for 1 point. Name the electrician who went on to lead Poland's trade union known as... Hans.
Walesa.
Walesa is the correct answer. Well done, Hans. Hans, it puts you on 3. The category is places. Select.
3.
3-point question, which would give you a win and put you in the next round with Richard. What is the name of the river which flows from Lake Erie to Lake Ontario? Hans.
St. Lawrence.
It is not the St. Lawrence. Iain.
Michigan.
Is not Michigan. The answer I was looking for is the Niagara. General knowledge question for 1 point. What is the chemical formula for water? Iain.
H2O.
H2O is correct for 1 mark. Iain, that puts you on 2. The category is oceans and seas. Select.
2, please.
A 2-point question. In what ocean are the Falkland Islands? Hans.
The Atlantic.
The Atlantic Ocean is correct. They are precisely in the South Atlantic. Well done, Hans. That puts you on 5. The category is music. Just the 1. The thumb came up from Hans. Let's see. This is the thumb up. This is for a win. How many musical notes are in an octave? Iain.
8.
8 is the correct answer, Iain. That puts you on 3. The category is means of transport. Select.
3.
3. So that means either you or Hans could go into the next round if you answer this question correctly. What, starting with D, is another name for an airship? Time was out, just as you did it, Jakob. I won't even ask you if you knew. The answer I was looking for was dirigible. General knowledge for 1 point. Only Hans with 1 point could go through to the next round. Who was the lead singer of the Supremes? Iain.
Diana Ross.
Diana Ross is the correct answer. Puts you on 4. The category is about food. Select.
2.
2-point question for a win for either you or Hans. What Italian dish consists of wide flat noodles baked in layers? Jakob.
Spaghetti.
Is wrong. Iain.
Lasagna.
Lasagna is the correct answer, and you're in the next round. All right, let's look at the scores. Hans is on 5. Jakob, you have yet to score, but all is not lost, but this is important. General knowledge question for 1 point, which would put Hans into the next round. What beautiful bridge spans the opening to San Francisco Bay? Hans.
The Golden Gate.
The Golden Gate is correct, Hans, and you are in the next round. Very well played indeed. Very well played. Oh, Jakob, clogs and all, I am so sorry to lose you. You're with us almost all the way through the week. Well played, and thank you for playing with us on Going for Gold. Bye-bye. All right, we're down to 3. We'll soon be down to 2, and then we'll find a winner, because I'm going for gold now. Come and join me as we play 4 in a row. All right, well, as I said, it's time now to play 4 in a row. By this time, of course, everybody knows how to play it. The contestants know what the rules are. Let's have a look at them. Richard, Iain and Hans. Interesting point that they are our 3 first heat winners earlier on this week, and in the right order. Richard was the first to win a game, Iain was next, and then Hans. Now, Richard, today you got into this round first. Let me show you the categories that are available. They are the Romans, Feathered Friends, Musicals and Continents, and of course, as usual, I'll just be looking for the 2 of you. It's you against the clock. Richard, what category would you like?
Continents, please.
Right, Richard, you've picked Continents. Will you come and join me here, please, for your solo round in 4 in a row? All right, how are you feeling, Richard?
It's the biggest laxative I've ever taken.
All right, Richard. Well, you just hang in there. Don't worry about it. Let me remind you how 4 in a row works. Your aim is to score 4 in a row. You will score 1 point for each correct answer, but a wrong answer, as you know, will take you back down to 0. We will now put 40 seconds on the clock for you. You have those 40 seconds to answer correctly 4 in a row. Don't worry. If you don't get all 4, we will credit you with your highest score. Are you all set, Richard? Here we go. Your time starts now. On what continent do the Maasai people live?
Africa.
They do. Which is the second smallest of the world's continents?
Australasia.
No, it's Europe. Which precise global point did Roald Amundsen reach in 1911?
The South Pole.
He did. Which country occupies 4/5 of the Arabian Peninsula?
Saudi Arabia.
It does. The African nation of Zaire was once known as the Belgian what?
Congo.
It was. Of which continent are the Cherokee a native people?
North America.
They are indeed. Well done, Richard. You've scored 4 in a row again. Oh, he started off a little shaky, but he got us 4 in a row. Iain, your category, please.
I'll go for Feathered Friends, I think, Henry.
Feathered Friends, Iain. Will you come and join me here, please? I know, Iain, that you rank bridge, chess, squash, weightlifting among your hobbies. Bird watching in there too, is it?
Afraid not.
No. All right, well, you've taken maybe a risk, Iain. This is the important day for all of you. Iain, we will put 40 seconds on the clock for you now. And as you know, you'll have that 40 seconds to answer correctly 4 in a row. Your time starts now. The parakeet is a member of which bird family?
Parrot family?
It is. Which European bird is famous for stealing small, bright objects?
The magpie.
It's correct. Fruit and pooter are types of what species of bird?
Pass.
It was pigeons. What kind of bird is a jabiru? A jabiru?
Pass.
It's a stork. What colourful bird drills in wood when its beak?
Woodpecker.
A woodpecker, it does. What part of a bird's body is partially composed of keratin?
It's feathers.
It is. To which continent is the black swan a native?
Australia.
It is. What colour are the feathers on the head of an American bald eagle? Oh, Iain, hard luck. I don't know whether you had the right answer. I won't ask you. You'd be frustrated. The answer was white. You didn't score 4 in a row, Iain, but you did score 3.
Thank you.
And finally, Hans. Mans, our Austrian diplomat. What category would you like, Hans?
The Romans.
The Romans. Hans, will you come and join me here? Let me just bring you up to date with the score. Richard is, in fact, already through to the head-to-head final because he has scored 4 in a row. Iain has 3, so you have to equal 3 or to beat it to get into the final. If you equal Iain's 3, we'll have to have a tiebreaker. Hans, are you ready?
Yes.
Well, we'll put 40 seconds on the clock for you now, just to remind you of all 40 seconds to answer correctly 4 in a row, and your time starts now. In Roman mythology, who was the god of war?
Ares.
No, it was Mars.
Oh.
In classical mythology, which goddess, starting with D, was the Roman counterpart of the Greek Artemis?
Diana.
It was. In Roman mythology, who was queen of the gods? Have to hurry you.
Hera.
No, it was Juno. Who was the first Christian Roman emperor?
Constantine.
He was. Which Roman ruler procurator ordered the crucifixion of Christ?
Pontius Pilate.
He did. Which Roman emperor rebuilt the Pantheon in Rome between 118 and 128 AD?
Trajan.
No, it was... what did you say,
Trajan.
Hans? No, it was Hadrian. I'm sorry, Hans. You didn't score 4 in a row.
Thank
in
you.
fact, you scored 2.
No.
Hans, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Well, there you go. If you look at our scores, you'll see that, alas, at last, we have to lose Hans Mans from Austria, who only scored 2. But thank you very much, Hans, for being with us and playing Going for Goal so well all the time. But what it means is the 2 home birds have done well this particular week, because Richard with 4 points from Scotland and Iain with 3 points from England are into today's head-to-head final. I'm going to ask them to come as we prepare to go for goal. Okay, right now, here we are. We're down to it. Our head-to-head, our final round. You need 9 points to win the game. And we have a right royal battle here between England, here with Iain McChesney from England, and Scotland, represented here by Richard. Let's find out precisely where the guys come from. Iain, where are you from?
From the Rossendale Valley, which is just north of Manchester.
The Rossendale Valley and Manchester are cheering for you, even as we speak, Iain. And Richard, what about yourself?
I'm from Perthshire, and I live in Dunblane.
Dunblane in Perthshire. There isn't. You can hear a pin drop up there at this moment. All right, guys. Let me explain to you how the game works. Do you want to wish each other luck before you start? Okay. Richard and Iain. Now, I'm going to tell you how the game works. You need 9 points to win. Here's how it works. I'm going to ask a question that gradually gets easier. You may buzz in only when it's your turn. Now, Richard, you got into this round first, so the first decision is going to be yours. If you decide to start, you'll be able to buzz in when the clock is in the big 4 zone. When it gets down to the 3 zone, it goes across to Iain. Then it comes back to you. So look upon that 4, 3, 2, 1 as really a clock. It starts counting down when I start reading the question. Each time the clock moves into a new zone, control passes to the other player. And remember, you may only answer when you have control. If you're right, well, you score the number of points that are showing. All right? To help you make your decision, I'll tell you the first question is on the subject of the sea, and there's an extra little clue for you watching at home. So it's time for you to decide. Richard, you can decide to play with a clock and control in the big 4 zone, or you can force Iain to play. Will you play or will you pass?
I'll play.
You will play. All right. You have control of the game, and remember, you may buzz in only when you have that control. The clock will stop when you hit the buzzer, and remember, guys, it takes 9 points or more to win. Here we go on the subject of the sea. Time starts now. I am one of a group of shellfish called mollusks that range in size from a man's fist. Richard.
Mussel.
Is not the right answer. Iain, you have control, and time continues now. They range in size from a man's fist to about 8 meters from tip to tip. Iain.
Razor shells.
It's not razor shells. Richard, you have control, and time continues now. I live chiefly in tropical and temperate seas. Richard.
Starfish.
It's not a starfish. Iain, you now have control of the game, and time continues now. I have no bones. Iain. It's not clams. Richard, you have control of the game, and time continues now. I have no inside shell. Richard.
Jellyfish.
It's not a jellyfish. Iain, my goodness, you guys are trying hard for this. You have control of the game, Iain, and time continues now. Some people call me devilish because of my frightening appearance. My name comes from 2 Greek words. Hard luck, guys. There's no point in continuing. You tried so hard. The answer was octopus. All right. So we're back to the start almost again. Richard, you got into the round first. The subject is pop music. There's an extra clue for you watching at home. Richard, on pop music, will you pass or play?
I'll play.
All right, you'll play. Remember, you need 9 points, guys. Time starts now. I'm an American singer and composer born in Michigan in 1950. I began my career as a precocious child singer and harmonica player for a particular record label. Richard.
Stevie Wonder.
Stevie Wonder is right. We're going to score. Answered in the 4 zone. Goodness me, answered in the 4 zone, which means, Iain, that you're playing what we call catch-up. The subject is geography. Here's a clue for you watching at home. Iain, will you play or pass?
Play.
You're going to play. Your time starts now. I am a city. My population is about 415,000. In my western area, modern factories produce chemicals, clothing and machinery. My prehistoric beginning, Iain.
Berlin.
It is not Berlin. Richard, you have control of this game and your time continues now. My prehistoric beginning dates back more than 4,000 years. I've had periods of Roman, Muslim and British rule. Most of the street signs and shop signs are in 3 languages: English, Arabic, Hebrew. I'm the only holy city...
Jerusalem.
Richard, it is Jerusalem, you're quite right. You just got there in the 1 zone, bringing you up to 5 points, which means, Iain, you are playing catch-up. The subject is politics. There's an extra clue for you watching at home. Oh, goodness, 5-0. Iain, will you play or pass?
play.
You've got to play, Iain. You're quite right. On politics, your time starts now. I am a political leader born in New York State in 1882. I attended Harvard and Columbia Law, and in 1913... Iain.
Henry Kissinger.
It is not Henry Kissinger. You are wrong. Richard, you have control of the game. And your time continues now. In 1913, I became Assistant Secretary of the Navy. I was stricken with an illness. In 1921... Richard.
Woodrow Wilson.
It is not Woodrow Wilson. Iain, you have control of the game, and your time continues now. In 1932, I was nominated for President of the United States and was elected to my first term. I began the New Deal, and I used the radio. Richard.
Roosevelt.
Roosevelt is correct. Well done. Answered again in the one zone, which means, Iain, that you're still playing catch-up. The subject is Island of the World, Islands of the World. Here's an extra clue for you watching at home. Will you play or pass, Iain?
Tell me.
I tell you that you probably got to play, Iain. You will play all right. On Islands of the World, your time starts now. I am a group of islands made up of volcanic peaks and covering an area of more than 8,000 kilometres. Iain.
Canaries.
No, it's not the Canaries. Richard, you have control of the game. Listen carefully. Your time continues now. I'm over 8,000 kilometres. Strange birds and animals thrive on me. My name comes from the Spanish word for the giant land turtles which used to inhabit me. Richard.
I'm sorry, it's gone.
It's gone. It's on the tip of everybody's tongue. Iain, you have control of the game. Your time continues now. Once known as the Enchanted Isles, I lie in the Pacific Ocean. About one... Iain.
Galapagos Islands.
The Galapagos Islands is correct. Well done, Iain. You got an answer. You got in there in the two zone. Brings you up to 2. To Richard 6. It means that you're still playing catch-up. The subject is places. Here's an extra clue for you watching at home. Iain.
Play.
You're going to play, and your time starts now. On places, I am a historic mountain located on a triangular peninsula between the two north arms of the Red Sea. I am sometimes called Mount Hera, and I'm prominently mentioned in the Old Testament. Richard.
Mount Sinai.
Mount Sinai is correct, Richard, in the 3 zone, and you're today's champion, and you're this week's Eat final winner. Well done, Richard, and we'll see you in the semi-final later on in the year. And not only have you won a bronze memento already this week, now we've added a silver one to it, because that is a wonderful memento of your exclusive win on Going for Gold. Oh, Iain, what a tremendous game you gave us. Very hard, like the Flying Scotsman has won. Well, I don't mind admitting for a while there I thought we'd never find a winner, but we did. And of course, as I said, Richard is in to the semi-final later on in the year. Now, I hope you'll join us on Going for Gold next week. We'll have 7 new contestants from 7 different countries, go all the way through the week, and we'll eventually find the winner for the next semi-final. So join us all then, please, on Going for Gold. Bye-bye.
In association with Super Channel and the BBC, Going for Gold is a Reg Grundy production.